Hey, just a quick little video here, update video on the old Predator 670 skid loader motor conversion situation. There's been some questions about the old turd. People want to know how she's doing. Well, from an engine standpoint, zero complaints. Motor's been good. There was a little bit of a concern for a few months during the winter months. I was having a hard time starting the turd in the winter and always had to either ether it or throw some gas down the carburetor to get it to fire right up. This went on for like a few months, and you can see here, so much so that I actually am missing a bolt, taking the air filter off. But turns out it wasn't the motor, it was the idiot that put it in. It's a little tough to see here, but this here is the choke, I believe, right here. This is the choke. And what had happened was, see this little rusty spot in the plate here? This was actually hitting the bracket that the cable is mounted to, or actually the shield was mounted to, and it wasn't actually opening or closing the choke all the way. It was only closing it about halfway. So I fixed that, and it starts up instantly ever since. So no issues with the motor. Tell me I installed it. Some other things people brought up was muffler. I don't know if I really called it out clearly in the video when I put it in, but the muffler originally sat about this high, which obviously was going to be interfered by this little junction block for the pump, hydraulic pump. So what I did was flip the exhaust upside down, which caused it to, obviously this cylinder sits back further than this one, so now the muffler's sitting cocked a little bit, which worked out perfectly, gave me a little more room. And then also did some, what do you call it, kerfing there, and bent the muffler up just a little bit because it was right down almost on top of the drive shaft, which is down there. That's all I had to do to get the muffler right, and then obviously welded up this shit stain of exhaust pipe to get it out the back of it. I need to do something better about that, but it works. So there was a comment regarding vibration, because the motor is actually bolted solid to the actual chassis of the skid loader. And no, it's not any different than it was before. The original Onan motor was bolted down solid to the chassis, and I even checked because it was an interesting comment. I thought, well, yeah, it's a good question. And from the factory, this thing was, the engine was solid bolted to the chassis. So no real vibration. Obviously there's a little bit of a buzz, but you're on an unsuspended, no suspension, rough 80s skid loader. It's going to ride rough and be rough anyway, so no big deal there. Other than that, yeah, the motor's been super. The only thing I've done to it is an oil change. Runs good, keeps the battery charged. Good power, way more power than it had before. Obviously the other motor was pretty shot. Well, okay, the other motor was really shot. But no, everything's good there. It doesn't get used a super lot around here. Just, track maintenance, little RC track, little jumps and bumps, and I use it for trailer moving. A little makeshift thing I welded up to hold the trailer ball on it, so I can move my trailers around easier. Specifically that big old turd over there, camper. So yeah, it doesn't get a lot of use, but like I said, every time I need it, it fires right up and takes right off. So speaking of that, let's fire this turd up and take her for a little spin. Pull a little choke on her. That was startling. Alright, fires right up. I actually haven't ran the thing in about a month, so that's actually pretty impressive. Let her warm up a little bit here, and we'll get the trailer movement ball thingy job off and get the bucket back on. and go move some dirt around. Well, there you go. There's it, functioning, operating. No critiquing my heavy equipment operation skill set, because I don't really have any. Did have to actually do something. The buddy had put a couple of whoops in an area of the yard that I have to back tractors or trailers through, so I had to flatten those back out again. But there you go. It works. It works really good. No complaints at all. Like I said, other than errors on my own part during the install, it's been great. So Predator, thank you Predator and Harbor Freight, 2 thumbs up. I only got 1 thumb kind of available right now, but motor's been great, no complaints at all. If you guys want to, I don't know, view the build again, I'll plug it up here someplace, or one of these 2 sides here, to see how it went. I actually installed the thing, but that's about that. There's your update. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.